Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports.
This Lion fan base, Coach, they have been craving home playoff football since this building opened in 2002, and they've got it today at Ford Field in Detroit. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn. To take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Off the play fake. Clifford. And this one's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
That's right, baby. You go take man. You got that right there.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Throwing on first down, Clifford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, Wood.
To throw again, Clifford. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 30.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here, too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making a big-time play?
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. He's got daylight. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Well, it was third down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And one thing we haven't pointed out yet, probably should, you got a dome team on the road, January, cold weather. How tough is that, or is that something that really shouldn't come into play?
Well, it shouldn't come into play, but let's face it, if you've been a dome team all year and used to controlled environment, you need to get yourself outside a little bit for practice during the week, and that's what most of these teams do, because just because they play in a dome doesn't mean they don't have bad weather outside to work in, so they can do that, get their guys acclimated, and then that way, it takes it all the way when you get to game day in a foreign place.
Off play action. Clifford. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now Saquon Barkley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
A first down carry for Barkley. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 10 more there and another first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. These two teams all tied after one. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. It's Josh Allen that'll be orchestrating the offense, a 6'5" quarterback from Wyoming.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, and he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Wide open receiver, complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 35.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Allen got his man, Robbie Anderson.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Throwing again on second down. Allen, quick hitter here, it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 18. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in with in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Allen to throw it, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for, and it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. And again, it's Allen, and that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And this one is right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you to the end zone, get you 6?
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
30 base. Hey, Sam off.
Off the play fake.
Clifford, they'll roll him out right. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now Allen to throw. To throw again. This short throw caught by Goddard. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league, so even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game, because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Clifford. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on 3rd and long. Clifford into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get in the field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
This short throw caught by Goddard.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's... Do it.
Saints 7.
One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turned that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Allen's throw is complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. It's a big play there for the Lions. 47 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now Allen into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Joey Bosa, his second sack of the night.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. 30, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Antonio Callaway, 88 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
So what did you say earlier, my man? You said one big play away from getting back in this game. And guess what? There it was.
Yeah, we talked about it. That despite the scoreline, they were that close on the road, and boom, there you go.
Well done, Nostradamus.
Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. This is fielded at the goal line. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. And in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. That's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Again, it's Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Saquon Barkley running right. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Switch it, switch it, switch it, come on, switch it. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. Hey, check right, check right. Watch it, right. Nice, nice, sweetheart. Shoot.
Off play action. Clifford rolling to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. 2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Looking to throw. Clifford nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they're not going to get the kickoff in time.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 4th down.
Randy Bullock on for the field goal. A 40-yard attempt.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So with less than a minute gone by here in this 4th quarter, the field goal there gets this thing back to even.
And it's setting up for a fantastic finish, isn't it, partner? It's been a well-played game, a hard-hitting game. The fans are into it. The announcers are into it. This is going to be a great 4th quarter.
And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. When you talk to these guys in training camp, these are the moments they say they live for. You're in a playoff game. It's tied, 4th quarter. Time for somebody to step up.
And can you execute under pressure? Because the pressure is intense right now. No one wants to be responsible for making the error that costs their team. But at the same time, who's going to be responsible for making the play that gives the advantage to your team? Who's going to break out? Just what you said.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Lions on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Looking left side, and it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 41-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. To the air, Allen. And this is Cook with a grab. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a third down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a line foot. And now look at him go. The 30, 10. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this fourth quarter. We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of the long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the return where they didn't create a penalty? Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone will block below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. So the situation very simple here. Late game, down 7. They've got to get it in the end zone.
And the best players know how to be calm in these situations because you know right now his pulse is like a jackhammer. So how does he rein it in, make sure the team has a little bit of calm, coupled with that sense of urgency? Got to walk that line a little bit, but get it downfield in order to score, and then put the pressure on the guy who kicks the ball because he could tie the game.
It's been a fun game. It all comes down to this. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he comes back with one complete. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They try and bring the pressure, but he still gets off a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Barkley. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Switch. 61, matchbox, lights. Ready?
Again, it's Barkley. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. On the draw, this is Barkley. And an alley to run. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley.
Ready?
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Check.
They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. Well, 1 win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Detroit.